Okay, you're teenagers, my students. Of course, you're homeschooled and you're the exception to the rule, but most normal teenagers push back against authority. Why? Because they're evil? Well, no. Partially, they're trying to figure out how the world works and how they should conduct themselves as adults. And the fact of the matter is, many authorities in the world are worthless. They're fake. They're wearing masks. They're hypocrites. They're not true authorities. This is why God is criticizing the shepherds in our reading today from Ezekiel. The shepherds would have been the leaders of the Jewish people, their priests, and God is saying, you're worthless shepherds. You are not shepherding the flock. You don't care about them. Now, God has a plan. His plan, I will establish one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them. My servant David, he shall feed them and be their shepherd, and I, the Lord, will be their God. And my servant David, a prince among them, I, the Lord, have spoken. Does he bring David back to life? No. Of course, Jesus is the son of David. Jesus is in the line of David, at least by adoption. Jesus becomes the new authority and the archetype, and in fact, in reality, the shepherd. So that when he finishes up the Sermon on the Mount, and we read, and so it was when Jesus had ended these sayings that the people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. The people are astonished. They're used to all these bad homilies, you see. They're used to being preached to by people who don't really care and whose interests lie elsewhere. They're used to bad shepherds. And suddenly, here is the shepherd. Here is David, the son of David, the son of God, the son of man, preaching to them with authority as their true shepherd. What do we see happening in the book of Acts? We see another false shepherd, another religious leader. This religious leader is interested in the cult of Diana, the goddess Diana. And about that time, there arose a great commotion about the way being the Christian faith, W-A-Y, capital W. For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, who made silver shrines of Diana, brought no small profit to the craftsmen. He called them together with the workers of similar occupation and said, "Men, you know that we have our prosperity by this trade. Moreover, you see and hear that not only at Ephesus, but throughout almost all Asia, this Paul has persuaded and turned away many people, saying that they are not gods which are made with hands. So not only is this trade of ours in danger of falling into disrepute, but also the temple of the great goddess Diana may be despised, and her magnificence destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worship." And they foment a riot. They get people stirred up over nothing, over something that's not true. They get people all stirred up. Why? Because their livelihood depends on this. It's like the people we have been reading about in Acts who own a slave who can prophesy, and Paul exorcises the demon out of the slave, and the people can't make money anymore based on the income that was coming in from their slave, and they get angry. Paul is upsetting the apple cart. He is turning over the old order. He is preaching one God, not these false gods and goddesses. And so this is affecting their business, their bottom line. When people care only about power and wealth, when that power and wealth is challenged, they will do anything to protect it, including fomenting a riot where for 2 hours the people are shouting, "Great is Diana of the Ephesians," so much so that the clerk trying to maintain order cannot even speak. And Paul's friends won't even let him go there because they're afraid that he's going to get killed by these people in this riot. And the people who are rioting don't really even know why they're there. Many of them don't even know what the commotion is about, but the people who are controlling the puppet strings do. This is a kind of demagoguery. When leaders are only interested in power and money and control, they become bad shepherds, whether they're political leaders or religious leaders, and it is not beyond them to start a war or a riot or what's going on in Ephesus, a complete tumult, so that they can protect their interests. They don't care about true gods or false gods. They don't care about God. They care about their interests. Look around you and you will see this happens even today, both in our secular and in our religious worlds. So where we're left in the book of Acts is the riot is getting out of control and the clerk is trying to control it. But again, we're seeing a lack of authority, a lack of even a pretense for authority, because the trade of the silversmiths in Ephesus is not about the goddess Diana. It's about this. It's about the bottom line. It's about their standing, their power. They can't have this dude, Paul, challenge that. You see this, as I say, bad religious leaders, bad secular leaders. Look about you. This is why, if you as teenagers feel rebellious against authority, well, that's good. Because not all authority is true authority. And the scribes didn't teach with the authority of Jesus. So look into this in your lives as well as what you're being told.